Yeah. Again, I'm not freaking out about the McGreevy start. It was solid. I do want to say though, if you are a Cardinals fan, show yourself in the chat if you were somehow being negative about that start, because I'm not saying it's pervasive or the majority, but I saw just a lot of the same people who were harping on some kind of McGreevy start happening, then somehow not being okay with what he produced yesterday, probably because the Cardinals just lost the game. But it was just in an uneven situation where the actual expectations didn't meet reality in any way, shape, or form. That was a little bit disappointing to see.
Yeah. When a guy is in his situation, and he's been great in the majors so far, and he's been really good in the minors, but when you're taking on the Dodgers and you're taking on 3 MVPs at the top of the lineup, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a rookie or not, that's really tough. And I thought with the 3 in the second and 4 in his 6 innings, I think that's an admirable outing. And I don't expect an awful lot more of a rookie than that. That's actually, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. What other aspects of the game?
I wouldn't have expected that many innings, because those guys, they work pitchers.
You know what? To that point, actually, I like that you mentioned that, because 101 pitches, 65 strikes, that does surprise me, because something that Brendan Schaefer pointed out when he co-hosted the show on Wednesday is that when McGreevy started on Wednesday, or was it Tuesday night, I guess it would have been, in Memphis, they took him out at exactly the 75th pitch. Yeah. So I was predicting, I think on Friday, I thought I mentioned this. Oh no, it was on Saturday when I did the post game. My apologies, on Card Central post game. I honestly did not think they'd let him go past 90 pitches. So the fact that they let him go 101 against the Dodgers, that is, I mean, it says a lot about what they think about him. It says a lot about his ability to build things up, because remember, innings pitched are a big thing with the Cardinals, or at least maybe this philosophy's changed, but they used to not like to add more than 30 innings pitched onto a young pitcher's count. So I was a little surprised we saw him go 187 total pitches in a 5-day span.
And they have all that data, because he threw 173 last year, remember?
Oh, yeah, he did. You're right. I remember you.
Yeah.
Pointed out.
So I think they're counting pitches and innings with McGreevy. But let's think about the other 2 starts too, because Sonny Gray was a stopper again. He's been sensational in his last couple of starts. That Saturday against the Rangers, and then Friday night here when the Cardinals needed wins, he stepped up and it was fantastic. And then Eric Fetty, I think, way beyond expectation on Saturday. And the way the Cardinals won both of those games, you get the home runs from Pages and Wilson Contreras on Friday night, and then on Saturday you get the dramatic finish with the Cardinals scoring a run on the mad dash by Mason Wynn, and then Pages getting a bunt down in the bottom of the 9th, a 2-strike bunt to move the pinch runner over. I thought both of those wins were sensational for the Cardinals.
Yeah, overall, the series win was fantastic. But when everyone loses on Sunday, I'm not going to pass up the headline. It was a great win from the Cardinals, and it had everything we've talked about. A lot of times in our interviews with Bernie, these things are talked about the Cardinals' ability to cover for mistakes, their ability to fight, the fact that they're never out of a game. These are the kind of aspects. And for me, the fact that they keep fighting late without home run power, that was the thing that jumped out that me and Chris Pelican talked about on Card Central postgame on Saturday. The fact that they continue to win games late and come back late without home run power, that's one of those things where it would have been fair if they were a solid team with a good offensive numbers all the way through August and September. But you kept saying, I don't know if this team can win in the playoffs with this offense, because can you be clutch without power hitting late in games? The fact that they keep winning games late without big home runs, that's starting to prove to me that this is a sustainable type of offense, despite the fact that it isn't prototypical anymore in baseball. And this, if you can do this in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning with the middle of your order, with the back of your order, top of the order, I mean, that's how you are a dangerous team through a long 7-game series in October.
You just have to be able to pitch. If you're going to score runs, it's kind of got to be like Whitey ball, right? It's got to be you pitch and play defense and suppress opposition runs, and then you manufacture runs. But if your pitching is going to allow home runs in the playoffs, then you have to be able to slug with other teams. But you look at this year now, the Dodgers are going to be there with their top three, with Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, and clearly the top two hitters. I don't know what's going to happen with Philadelphia now with the Bryce Harper injury, inflamed wrist, but they need that left-handed pop if they're going to be in the playoffs. The Braves are pretty much done. They're 14 games behind the Mets now. I guess the Braves could go on a run. I don't know what that's going to look like if the Braves go on a run to be a wild card team. But I think what the Cardinals need to do is worry about themselves first. By the way, another dangerous team in that regard is the Chicago Cubs.
And we have some chats going there. Can I want to pivot to the Cubs, but really quickly, because we mentioned the Braves, and you and I were talking to Stephen Carey, who obviously is very steeped in the Braves on Thursday and Friday off the air. And do we need to go back and rehab some conversations we were having in 2022 and 2023 about the Braves plan and how it's all working out so well and all that? Is like, is there some lesson we can learn from all of this is the organization we all have to model ourselves after, and the fact that it unraveled so fast, even in a season when there isn't a huge injury concern?
Yeah. The thing is, if you have Max Fried and Charlie Morton, you can't lose them and get no new guys.
Yeah.
You can't lose one a stud, and then the other guy is one of the top postseason pitchers of this brief era. You can't lose two guys like that and not replace them. Now, Spencer Schwellenbach is nice, but then you lost Strider last year. He's still not back in stride, as it were. I just think that thank you, appreciate it. I think the big thing with the Braves is their pitching, and they're 27-37 this year. I still, if I were them and had to do it all again, and I was going to sign all those young guys, Albies, Acuna, Riley, Harris, I would the catcher Murphy, I would sign all of those guys. But you just need to be able to pitch. And so far this year, if you look at their starting pitching, they've gotten great work out of Schwellenbach, who has a 3.24. But their other starters this year, Sale, Cy Young Award winner, 2.93. Grant Holmes is there, 3.99. He's 3-4. Bryce Elder, we know what he is, 2-3 with a 4.08. Smith Shawyer down for the season now. They lose him. Strider is 0-5 with a 5.40. He's not back to what he was. Ronaldo Lopez isn't what he was last year. And, oh, by the way, he's only thrown 5 innings this year. So you just have to go out. If you aren't going to keep a starting pitcher, to me, this is my opinion, like Max Fried, and you aren't going to keep a guy around like Morton, you have to replace him. And they didn't.
Also,
so I don't question their moves. I question what they've done this year, but not their big picture moves.
Also, it doesn't help when you're pissing off the fan base by yanking the chain of Craig Kimbrell. It kind of seems like it was the fact that they put him through all the rehab and all the work. He comes up, has one bad outing, one outing, and then they immediately DFA him. That was a weird thing. And I know a lot of Brave fans were ticked off with how that was handled.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know what they were doing there.
Yeah, I got nothing there.
It'd be different if we knew that, okay, he needs one game to get tenure or something in the union, and that's what was going to happen. But he was way beyond that. Old story that one time the MLBPA guy was talking to the A's about how they reach a certain point in their career and they reach tenure. And from the back of the room, Ricky Henderson waves his hand up and says, 10-year? Hell, Ricky got 15-year.
To your point, the Cubs series is on the horizon. Cole Bassett's left foot. What Mr. Karraker is preparing us for is the upcoming massive Chicago Cubs series, and also pointed out by Cronky Hater, Cubs cupcake schedule ending shortly. In fact, it already ended because they finally had to play a real team in the Detroit Tigers, and they got beat up, losing 2 out of 3, 3-1 to Tariq Skubal, and then Jack Flaherty shut him down in a 4-0 win yesterday.
I think the Cubs are good. I think the Cubs are as good as the Cardinals now. They have to deal with injuries too. The Cardinals have been very fortunate with pitching injuries, but it's amazing how they have been affected by the loss of a hot Jordan Walker. They need to have, it's not necessarily Walker, but they just need to have 3 or 4 hot hitters going at a time. You know who looks hot right now is Nolan Gorman. Had that leadoff double in the 9th inning on Saturday. And I wonder if, well, Jordan Walker's out, and if you didn't see, he had he had an injection into that wrist, and he's been set back without even doing baseball activities. I'm interested to see what the Cubs look like coming back from all of these injuries.
I am as well, and we talked about it on Friday. It was a 72 inning streak where their relievers had not been scored on. They took it to 74 on Friday, but then on Saturday it got broken up thanks to our good friend Genesis Cabrera.
Oh, there we go.
was the man who broke the Cubs bullpen's incredible innings scoreless streak, as he was tagged for an earned run in their win. Actually, Saturday. Just the guy to do it right before the Cardinals series. Good old Genesis Cabrera. Thanks, buddy.